okay.
I know a few. There's the, I can't remember what it's called. It's not the Achaean alphabet.
Hangul. This one's Hangul.
Hangul.
Hangul is Korean.
Can we pick one that's not, not that I have anything wrong with it, but just not like, not a symbol language that's
Cyrillic would be the best.
Not a symbol language that is what? What do you mean?
That's not Japanese, Chinese. Yeah, I don't necessarily want pictographs, and also they look. People kind of know Cyrillic. Actually, I don't fucking care. Hang on.
Cyrillic looks pretty similar to English.
Look at Tibetan.
Tibetan?
Tibetan writing. Look up Tibetan writing. It's wild.
Yeah,
really cool and wild.
Did y'all know that the entire plot of the thing is given away in the first 5 minutes if you happen to speak Norwegian?
Yes, I did actually.
Armenian language is also very alien looking.
Right here. Hold on, I'm about to.
Alright, I got it. Thank you. Google images of Tibet. Just Tibet is not good.
No, it is not.
Oh God.
Especially when you let Google search off.
I just posted the writing in the chat if you don't want to look at.
No, I fixed it. I fixed it. God, man, they're.
What's the matter?
Daily reminder that atrocities are real.
Really.
So, Tibetan language is actually pretty cool because each of the strokes of the pen is a different letter, and the symbols above the bottom strokes and below the top strokes change the way that the letter is pronounced. And each individual stroke changes it a different way.
This is exactly what I'm looking for. Thank you. Oh!
It looks a little bit like Vulcan, doesn't it?
I think they might have.
This is both the oldest writing system in the world and the most complicated for no reason.
Well, there is a reason. It's oldest.
Grammar Nazis exist across all cultures.
I guess I just don't know.
So Baldur's Gate 3 is very fun.
I was going to ask if you guys have been playing it. What do you think?
we've got to get together and play it together.
Man,
I was waiting to see whether I should wait till all the bugs are worked out before I buy it or not.
All the bugs are worked out.
I don't
That is not true. There are bugs.
Yeah,
I haven't run into any.
I haven't
Most of the
bugs damage to bugs.
Most of the I actually have that one too. Actually, I might have sold it. But a lot of the bugs I've encountered have been camera angle bugs.
Yeah. I didn't see
camera angles, but that happens with any top-down.
No, not during the cinematics.
During the cinematics?
Yeah, like when you're going to talk to someone and then you just get like a face full of rock wall because the camera's positioned to put a rock wall between you and the person you're talking to.
So
sounds like a skill issue to me.
Yeah, on the programmer's issue.
The biggest visual bug I've come across was Will not having a torso, because I had stolen his clothing for a cut, and then before we got to a cutscene, he was supposed to be wearing that clothes. So they put the clothes back, but they somehow erased his torso. But
that is hilarious.
Is it your guys' new Skyrim?
Almost. Like, if you use Thunderwave near a pile of books, it'll scatter pages everywhere.
Yeah, you'll be playing it for years and years, you think?
Yeah, oh my god, I'll have to go through every origin, every single... And there's so many options, even just with one of the origins. There are so many ways to go.
Because I have Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, and I have never played them, and I was like, maybe I should play through 1 and 2 just to give me a feel of what 3 is going to be like.
It's not necessary.
I was going to say it's going to be completely different, I'm sure.
developer change and everything, and they're not even really that. You're going to get references.
Even the stories aren't linked that well. Because it doesn't have to be. It's just it's D&D.
And it really, truly, like, I decided not to go with Baldur's Gate 3 because, unfortunately, I don't think my computer can really run it at the level that I think would be worth it. But I just picked up Divinity Original Sin 2, which is made by the same developer, and played that for 10 hours in 4 days. And
you know what you could have done with that time?
10 hours in 4 days? Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah,
numbers up.
I get really sad and bored if I play something for more than a couple hours.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I've lost
so I don't.
Saturdays to the
Well,
gaming
someone's
time.
not ADHD.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it probably is.
Well, no, you just need enrichment time in your enclosure. Just take breaks.
Well, yeah, but then when breaks happen, I'm like, okay, I just want to do something else after the break. It's not like I'm 8 hours of time booked off. It's like, okay.
My ADHD is when I hyperfixate on something, time doesn't exist anymore.
No, I just get sad. Which is really upsetting. Not to bring the mood
your
down.
go-to emotion?
You know,
Does
and I don't know if we should
therapy?
I think
Not a joke. Are you
I'm
okay?
with you. I don't think we should be.
I mean, yeah, we can hash this out if you want.
No, I'm with you. I think it might be a wrong time.
I think, yeah.
I mean, like, I know you need a hug, because, like, everyone kind of needs a hug, at least low-key, but...
Yeah, it you know, just,
This cold open is really something.
Yeah, anyway, so welcome to I Need Therapy, question mark?
There's no question mark.
You know, I do. I really do. And truly and honest to God. What?
I'll offer therapy.
I think I need professional help. So let me hang on. I just want to pull one thing up, and I keep getting distracted. Just give me 1 second, please.
You should change that think to I am certain.
Yeah,
but everyone
that's also
does.
a big problem.
Everyone needs therapy. It's just a fact of life.
Right. If it's like, you know, when you go on a walk or take out the trash. It's like maintenance. You got to do it.
Yeah, my therapist is a 7-minute walk away from my new place.
Well, aren't we special? Some of us have to telecommute with all of our therapy appointments because none of the offices are opening.
Yeah, no, the liquor store doesn't telecommute well.
Oh,
well, that's not therapy, and you definitely need more of it.
Trev really found that really upsetting thing to hear really funny. So, let me... Alright, folks. Alright, does anybody else have any questions before we begin? Any last-minute bits that we need rounded out?
I came across, like, the best recipe for grilled cheese.
Ooh, yeah, talk about that for 4 minutes.
Yeah, I can totally do that. So, what you do is you put, like, 3 tablespoons of butter in your skillet. Mm-hmm. Wait until that melts. Then you crush a clove of garlic. And add that in. Swirl that around, let the garlic get everywhere throughout the butter. Add a pinch or 2 of oregano to that. And then toast your bread in that. It is so simple and so fucking good. Like,
well,
I burned the shit out of one of my grilled cheese sandwiches the other day, like, pure black on one side, and I didn't even care. It was still so delicious.
Well, I would agree that is
enough
simple.
butter will
It's
make
not
anything
as simple as just making it the normal way. I would grant you that your artisanal grilled cheese sounds better.
There's a restaurant near me
called artisanal.
There's a restaurant near me called The Rind, and all they do is wine and different cheese dishes. And they've got this lobster mac and cheese that I love you all as brothers, and I would kill each and every one of you with my bare hands for that mac and cheese.
Yeah, no, I get that. Like I understand that on a spiritual level.
Like, and I do the time too for that mac and cheese.
Just so you can have it.
You just have to go to a restaurant.
Mm-hmm. I've also got this grilled cheese where they crisp cheese on the outside of the bread after they've grilled the bread, so that it's like a cheese crisp over the grilled cheese, and it's really good.
That sounds like it. That sounds delicious. That's a bit too much effort for even me to do on a daily basis, though.
I've gotten super lazy and I'm just throwing whatever I have readily available into wraps.
Okay, but like, if it works.
I'm not toasting the
My
wraps,
wife...
I'm not doing anything.
My wife made this chorizo and egg and tater tot breakfast casserole, and I'm about to put it on a tostada and eat that shit. It's gonna be delicious.
I'm gonna be making General Tso's chicken.
I put pepperoni, cheddar, marinara, and some spinach.
Who do we lose?
Trev.
That sounds delicious.
Oh, damn it. Alright, well, good thing
The fact that anyone lives in Arizona is a testament to man's hubris, and I stand by that.
Yep. King of the Hill was right.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, I just had a very, very surreal moment. I just told you guys that there is a market for artisanal American cheese that you can make your grilled cheese sandwiches with artisanally, and then I disconnected and no one answered me and I didn't know it, and I was wondering why artisanal cheese, American cheese, kills conversation so easily.
I think it's because you were probably muted, Jeff.
Everyone knows
when people think American cheese, they think craft and artisanal are mutually exclusive.
Look, everyone knows that the best cheese for a grilled cheese is American, at least as a base.
No, I disagree. American cheese is absolutely disgusting. I would not use it for anything. I would use cheddar instead.
That's what I do. I'm a cheddar guy too, so I appreciate that.
I appreciate that, and I definitely would put cheddar in the grilled cheese. I use the American cheese for the melt factor, because American cheese melts better than any other kind of cheese.
That is true. It does melt better, but like, I use a slice of sharp cheddar and a slice of Colby and Monterey Jack in my grilled cheese.
When I want to treat myself, I add a little Havarti.
Gouda.
Havarti.
I love Gouda cheese. It's my favorite kind of cheese.
Alright, reset for all the four.
Now,
my favorite kind of cheese all by myself. Okay.
I'm proud of you, GM.
Thank you.
Agree with a
Just
little
like
bit of
in
honey.
general.
Oh, right, are we doing positive affirmations today? You have nice hair.
Thank you.
Kyler, you put together a wonderful game every week that we play, and we greatly appreciate it.
Yes!
We really do. I always look forward to playing on Sundays.
There's an asterisk next to the word every, but, you know.
I said every game that we play, every week that we play.
And to be fair, it does, like... That's gonna be any tabletop game.
Yeah.
This is very true.
When can I quit? Game's terrible,
like...
awful.
Well,
now, get the hell out of here, negative Nancy!
Alright.
I'm messing with you, man.
Oh, you were... Okay, that's good.
We're
anybody else?
approaching our 2-year anniversary.
Yeah, that is a thing.
A non-canon pickup game. We have a better run rate than most canon games.
It's
Look, that's
amazing.
because this group has chemistry.
Yeah. No, that's honestly true. And to genuinely thank you very much for doing this every Sunday. It's sorta, kinda, maybe. I mean, yeah, it is really, really good. that you guys keep doing this, and you guys saying that it actually, for real, does mean a lot. Try not to get emotional, but yeah, I appreciate that. So
bad. Let's see some tears, bitch.
Yeah, be careful because I'm an easy crier. So
me too. I'll admit that.
So, ladies, gentlemen, everybody, are we ready to play?
Well,
let's do it.
Warm-up beer is gone, but yeah.
Born ready.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to this game of the USS Guan Yu here on the USS Guan Yu YouTube channel. Somebody watches us. It's one of our players. I'm your wonderful game master, Tyler. With me here is all 5 of our crew here. Last we left off, we had a really fun time with some goo. The subspace entity expanded through all major levels of the ship, and you were able to, just in the nick of time, return the entity back to its fissure that it came through in, leaving everybody who was contained within the blob completely and totally unharmed. So,
if needing therapy,
yeah. Well, who doesn't? You know what I mean? So
we did establish that earlier.
We did.
On this crew?
I'm gonna take away your momentum, unfortunately, everybody. I do apologize for that.
Or you could be super cool and not.
Yeah, and unfortunately, as is my want, it is today going to be a 4-threat game. So it is going to be 4 threat per person. That brings me up to a total 4 times 5 is 20, I believe. Oops, not 50. 50 threat I can. Yeah, truly. However, I'm going to be using some rules that I very rarely use, but are available. I'm going to be spending some of that threat to start out the session. So, just one moment here. 3, 4.
Hey, Tyler, you remember all those nice things I said?
Yeah, I do, and I'm keeping them in mind while I'm doing this. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I think that's math, correct? Nope, one more. 10. All right. 10 threat at the start. Let's take you to the bridge of the USS Guan Yu. Wonderful. We need to put our characters back.
Deleting them.
Yes. So Captain Edwards goes in his chair. Hagen. We have Lieutenant Dune up here at Ops. We have Lieutenant Mitchell at Helm. We have
I was still in engineering last session, so would time pass for me to be up here at this point now, or
we'll say that a plot amount of time has passed for you to be on the bridge at this point.
A plot amount of time.
Last we saw, Kester was not looking great. I mean, her eye was back in, but
Yeah, so Kestra, you were escorted down to sickbay. I am actually going to have somebody roll for Soral quickly. From Soral, I am going to need a... since this is... Well, I think for Soral this would be pretty severe, so he's actually going to use Daring Medicine.
We do have a EMH.
We have an actual doctor.
We do have an EMH who can help.
Actually, I don't believe we do. I believe that talent was taken out.
Yeah, we don't have the EMH, we got Dr. Ricks.
Oh.
Yes.
And we got rid of that for some ship feat. I can't remember which one.
Okay. Soral,
one of the ones
this
that...
seems like something Soral can take care of.
Yeah. Yeah. We actually will go ahead and start actually down in sickbay. This won't take very long, but we are going to go down there just because I like being down here. You see Dr. Grix is sitting there. Ooh, you are not there. You are not there. You are not there. Actually, that's a really good question. So, did you take along the Lormian, the two? Did you take along the Orions?
We did not. We handed both of them off.
All right.
I regretted that decision after it was made, but not going to.
Okay, we have 2 Sogurkel tokens. Gotta love that.
You could override that if you think that it's a necessary thing, but you know.
Captain's orders on that, I think. So I think we're gonna take it that they're not on the ship currently.
Yeah, they were requesting asylum. I'm not going to drag them back to the planet they're requesting asylum from.
That's
Overkill, I'm not sure. I believe is. Yeah. And then.
1 second.
Who would be escorting Kestra down? Would it be the captain?
No, I've got the bridge. I likely would have handed the task off to Mitchell because she's good. Just do her job in the interim.
Okay. Mitchell, yeah. Mitchell took you down to the turbolift. Now, what have I told you about things that are gloopy with your mind freaky stuff?
Well, at the time, I didn't know.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. No. And then you hear the door open. You see that actually in. Just one moment here. Inside, I would like one of you take that, and then I'll copy over. I'll bring out some nurses. You see some crewmen and like chief petty officer people here that are being tended to by their nurses. You see that this is the one that was for people at home. This is the one that was sucked up into the goop down there in engineering. You see that they have, as you walk in. Actually, Commander Hagen, go ahead and give me a insight. Yeah, go ahead and give me insight medicine. I'll say difficulty 1.
Okie dokie. Emergency medicine as a focus?
Yeah, I'll take that, yeah.
Okay.
Typical. All right. 1 moment to generate. Sorry, fuckers roll.
So typical.
Yeah, you walk in, catch it as Lieutenant Mitchell walks you in. Saral says, "Doctor, what?" and begins walking over to take a look. You see that the 3 patients that are currently in the sick bay, in the biobeds, this middle one has you would classify as moderate chemical burns.
Mm-hmm.
These 2 have kind of a mild to moderate case of that. The engineering enlisted appears to have like facial burns that are between second. You see a one bad 3rd degree one sort of on the torso area through his uniform.
They're being treated actively, right?
Yeah, you see that both nurses are actually surrounding the patient. One is anesthetizing him, and the other one is taking a dermal regenerator to the burns and applying some sort of topical solution that appears to be assisting with some of the damage and wrapping it with the regenerative cloth that you have. It looks like there was some. Yeah.
I think that for a second, Kestra, like, her torso starts to turn, and then she has to, like, physically remind herself, you're not the doctor right now, or anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And she turns back and goes, increased intracranial pressure caused ocular dislodgement. I just need some painkillers and
what?
Scan.
You hear Dr. Greg yell. Oh my God! Get her to the. Yeah, yes, doctor. And Mitchell, your eye's hanging out of your head. What the hell?
I got that actually put back in, so it's not. It's just my face and the entire front of my shirt are just doused in blood.
Sounds like, doctor, what have we talked about?
At the time,
he covers your mouth. Shh, doctor. And begins being very, very thorough with the with dapping up the blood. You see that Saral gives you kind of a future level of an ocular exam. He takes a medical tricorder. You see he twists something on the sort of sensory end of the little handheld thing and stick it almost to where it's in contact with the eye. Now, Now look up at the light. You should see a house.
It's a little fuzzy.
It's a little, yeah, it's a little fuzzy. Yeah. Dr. Grix, Commander Hagen appears to have some corneal damage. Should go into regeneration right away. Alright, Sorrel. Well, if you need any assistance, you can let me know. And Dr. Grix returns to his station. Lieutenant Mitchell turns around and says, Commander, I'm going to be going up to the bridge. Do you need me for anything else?
No, Sarah, thank you.
Yep, no problem. Don't do that again. And she turns around and walks out.
At the time, I wasn't aware that it was a goop.
This is what you always tell us, Sorrel says as he holds your face down to sort of, you see he sticks like a tiny ocular regenerator behind your eye and begins melding and assisting with the corneal damage. Back up to the bridge. I'm taking that momentum for the scene, by the way. We're gonna go ahead.
No.
Yep. Scenes work, my friend.
Back up to the bridge. Hagen is in surrounds. Captain Edwards, you are on the bridge. For everybody,
still bloody.
Yep, which does still have blood. Lieutenant Dune's looking down and says, "Yeah, it'd be right there." Lieutenant Dune's looking at it, goes, "Always something with her," and begins typing. Captain Edward, for everybody, you are about, I would say at this point, you're getting close. You're at probably Minute's Warp at this point, right?
Once we're safe from the field of death, I would like, and the systems are good to go, yeah, we're going to go back to warp.
Yeah. Lieutenant Mitchell says, heading to... Oh. Ensign... She looks at you, Ensign Woodyard. I'm trying to plot a course, but the computer is telling me that there's some sort of obstacle in the way.
Well, that's bizarre. I'll have to take a look.
All right. You have to take a look. Go ahead and give me... Let me take a look at your sheet really quick. Yeah, go ahead and give me... So, yeah, you know what? I'll give you reason science. This will be actually pretty fun. This will be reason science difficulty of 3, complication range of 3 as well.
Oh boy. Hold on. Difficulty of complication range of 3.
Yep.
And difficulty of 3. I'm trying to see if there's any. Sensor operations. Would that be a focus?
That would. I would also take your astrophysics focused.
Is there a reason why the complication is at 3?
I spent 10 threat to create a pair of hazards that you will discover in just a moment.
Okay, well, let's give you 3 threat to get 2 die.
Yes, please.
And let's see what we did. Let's see what we do. How we do.
Hey!
I'm assuming. I'm assuming that well, it's not a
Not success, but it's no longer a complication.
Yeah.
All right, that is +2 to momentum. Okay, so science officer. So directly in front of you, you just passed. Previously, you passed through an area of high density. That's how the blob got on. There's high density fissures coming up from subspace due to the subspace distortion and the turbulence that you're still currently experiencing. You see that the space that you're currently occupying at Impulse appears to be free from fissures at the moment. However, the space that's in front of you between where you are and Organ 3, where the Lormian homeworld is, you see as you get closer the amount of disturbances and distortion starts to increase exponentially. Yeah, that is what you discover.
I'm going to go out a little bit off book of my description of this. Well, it looks like there's nothing in the way. However, technically speaking, there is a lot of subspace interference between us and our destination, which we should not be going through because it's the same subspace interference which caused us to acquire our globular problem from that we just got rid of.
Okay, perfect. Ensign, send your readings over to Mitchell. Mitchell, see if you can plot a course safely through it.
I can.
Let me know how fast of a speed we can achieve. We're still against the clock here.
Okay. Before we do that, before we move off this roll, I would like to remind Titan that you have a free question that you can ask me to clarify.
Yes. Okay.
And you can also spend you can spend momentum to gain to obtain information as well. And because I'm nice, I will open up the questions. Of course, Titan has final say for every player character that's in the scene. So Edwards and Rokel would be able to also assist.
Okay. My first question would be for the extra science officer question. Would be, is this the same exact subspace reading, subspace frequency, subspace something or other as previous scans, or is it different in any way?
You detect that this is the same problem, getting worse.
Aha. So they're growing in size. Are they more intense? What's the metric? Is it growing along a y-axis or an x-axis frequency rate? You know what I'm trying to say? Is it amplitude or frequency?
Yeah, I'll treat that as the same question because I'm a nice guy.
Yes.
It appears to be the sphere. So to plot it out on a map, which I don't have, but imagine organ 3 at the middle of a sphere. The sphere is completely and totally filled with these subspace distortions. That includes subspace fissures, meaning that subspace is opening up into real space. That includes dense subspace turbulence that will make warp travel very difficult. There also appears to be gravimetric abnormalities in this, and you sense that it's not the bad stuff that's happening that's getting stronger inside that sphere isn't really expanding out further, but it's getting worse inside the sphere.
So in other words, the tempest in the teapot is becoming more tempesty, not that the teapot is getting any bigger or larger.
That's a very, very apt analogy. Absolutely. So imagine a kettle. At the middle of the kettle is the planet. The water is boiling, and it's really, really boiling. And it's because there's still something happening that's causing it. Whatever is causing it is making the water boil more and more.
I'd really love to be able to help here, but I can't, and it's driving me insane.
Well,
I will allow out of scene characters to assist for 2 threat apiece.
Oh man, so you're kidding. Okay.
Once Woodyard is done asking his questions, I want to take that information he's gathering and use create advantage to allow Mitchell to plot a course through this. Because we know where it's happening. We need to get there safely.
Okay. Okay.
the advantage would be she gets to make the roll. And it has a chance of succeeding.
Okay. I will, yes. So I will say that the advantage, if you want, so if the advantage is something that Lieutenant Mitchell can use, the advantage is you are able to create a map, not sort of a chart, if you will, of all known entities of all known fissures, areas of intense turbulence, and the gravimetric distortions, those things. I will allow a map to be created that is accurate up to this moment, not one that will continue to things might shift. That will allow Lieutenant Mitchell to make the roll. Because right now, before that information, she was looking at a screen that had literally like a brick in the way that she couldn't fly through. But now she has an idea.
Just a point of recall. We did not close the previous fissures. We just deposited the
goo back in them.
Goo back into the fissures that we found. Correct.
That is correct, and the fissures are actually quite close to you. You've only been at high impulse for an hour or so they're probably 10 million kilometers right behind you.
Okay.
So sending some kind of inverse wave or inverse subspace signature into these things are not going to close them, so we can't create a path for ourselves.
Well, to be generous, that is an avenue you haven't gone down yet. You haven't even attempted to close the fissures.
We asked about how that could be done, and we didn't get an answer.
Well, I thought that the answer that we got was that it would take so much power that the ship wasn't able or wasn't.
That is correct. Yeah, you're right. Thank you for reminding me.
I do have a question on this, which I think might cost momentum though. But
yeah.
But of course,
you can ask the question, and I'll let you know.
Of course, though, what's his face has final say.
What's his? All right, let's get names right. His name... Woodyard, whatever.
No, that guy.
Let me tell you, what's his face is in the top 5 of nicest things of what I've been called in my day.
I'm sorry, Woodyard. I'm very sorry. All right. Anyway.
Jesus Christ.
It's the.
Go ahead, ask your question.
All right, it's the wine talking. All right. Anyway, so, the question is, at the rate of the intensity, at the rate of increase of this intensity, how much time do we have left before things start becoming irreversible? Or is that something we've already known?
That is data that
we haven't had.
So your main question is when does it become we can't fix it? That is not necessarily germane to this role.
Okay.
So I would give that back to you, since it's. I would also give it back to you even if it was because you lack data. I would say.
Okay.
What do you got, Kesha?
First, are you guys okay with spending the 2 threat for me to try and inject this idea in here?
Go for it.
Okay.
I will allow you to ask your question, and if Titan wants to use it, it's 2 threat.
Okay. Is there any way we could find out kind of like a rough rate of expansion? Like, the worse this gets, I'm assuming the worse it's going to get on the planet. So, is there any way we can figure out how fast this is getting bad?
Yeah.
Not looking for the point of no return, just how fast is this getting bad? How you know?
Yeah. That is a question that I will accept for 2 threat and a momentum.
2
what do you think?
And a momentum?
Well, because it costs the momentum to ask the question.
Yeah, that's true.
The threat for taking our time.
Titan, it's your call.
What do you think, Titan? You're muted, buddy.
Or we can't hear you at all.
Or we can't hear you at all.
Hello? Is it me you're looking for?
I can see it in your eyes. We can't use that.
Trev can't hear me. Nope.
Uh-oh. You there?
To leave.
Leave and come back, maybe?
Grabbing a beer while he sorts that.
Check, unplug your mic, plug it back in. Leave, can he not hear us either? Is that what Kyle just said?
He can't hear Kyle.
Uh-oh. Well, he's probably talking, so I'll message him.
No, he sent me a message and said he can't hear me. So he can send a message there. Yes, I'm talking.
Okay. In that case, Woodyard,
Yeah.
leave the call and come back.
Okay, good. Good. We disagree. So much capital text. You can absolutely tell that he's in his 50s.
Yeah, you can tell that he was around when Gerald R. Ford was president.
That's never going away.
No.
Gerald Ford?
It truly just hit me. I was like, "What?"
What a it's the trumped up like ecstasy of saying that president's name out loudly.
Okay.
It's so exaggerated, but it's also funny. Alright, talk, buddy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
And by the way, I heard that Gerald R. Ford comment.
We hope so.
As soon as I find my walker, I'm coming for you.
Yes. Alright, to get back on the game so we can get moving here.
I'm sorry. So yes,
yeah.
the information is something that we need to know. So yes, we absolutely should be doing the spin.
Ready?
Yes.
We're at one momentum. So, that's a really good question. Titan, you can extrapolate. It's probably not great on the planet already, just based on the level of distortion in there. You actually find, and this is information that you didn't necessarily ask for, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. Normally at this range, you would be able to get sensor readings on the planet itself. You are not able to see, you're not able to detect the planet really on sensors. It's interesting because you see it flip. You see the planet 1 second, and then it's gone. And the sensors are actually struggling with it. They're like, "What the hell? What?" It's showing up that there's an error with the sensors itself, but you know that there isn't. But yeah, to answer Hagen's actual question. Right now it's not great. The planet's probably experiencing some seismic anomalies, probably having some weird stuff happen to the atmosphere with subspace turbulence. With a lot of turbulence, ionization of the atmosphere can occur, which is very, very bad. And they're also drifting further and further away from their sun, last you checked. So probably not doing seismically great there either. If it were to progress to double its intensity right now, it would probably be destroying the planet. You put that on. You determine 12 to 14 hours, most likely.
Okay, 12 to 14 hours.
Yep.
In that case, we need to go.
Okay.
Mitchell. Oh,
yes.
Go ahead. All right.
And yeah, are there any other questions related to this role?
We know we can't close them. The only thing we know where they're coming from. We know we can't close them. The only thing we can do is go through or around them, and we need to get there within the next 12 to 14 hours to attempt to save the planet. Actually, probably earlier than that. Cool.
Yeah.
Then Mitchell, use the data then some Woodyard is giving you. Plot a course. Woodyard, keep your sensors pointed forward. Things are shifting while she's flying.
Commander Kelly.
Stop.
Give me a. What would be a history check? It would be. Yeah, give me a.
Reason
engineering. Yeah.
All right, one reason engineering check coming
I'll
up.
say because a lot of stuff has happened since you learned the stuff. Difficulty 2.
We'll have a threat.
Stop giving him presents.
You know, I used to be super paranoid about that.
but you guys know that I have limits that I've set on myself to where I'm not gonna spawn unless this narrative requires it.
Do I have any applicable focuses? Foci.
That's a really good question. That's a really good question. Let me check. I will.
You did once spawn a small Dominion fleet that we had to bullshit our way out of.
Well,
But that was appropriate to the narrative.
there was a wormhole there. Whatever. So I would allow your espionage at increased complication.
All right, let's go then. Complication range 2.
Yep, Div 2, Comp 2.
All right, here we go.
Oh, burger smells so good. Typical. 2. Fuck. Damn it. 2 momentum generated. So, Kelly, you're sort of keeping tabs on the bridge. You're not really listening in, but you see what the sensors are doing, and you remember the crash investigation. You found a frequency that you were able to tune shields with that would be resistant to the degradation effect that this subspace distortion has on electrical systems in the ship.
Sorry, that wasn't already applied?
Didn't we spend for an advantage on that?
Yeah, it says
Did
plus
we?
3 resistance against unknown Lormian energy field, which allowed him to bring it back up. It's written right in the notes. We just have to scroll down a little bit further.
Well, have your 2 momentum for that free information.
Yay.
So, just reminding you of that. I wasn't aware that that was already included, but yeah. So, that is great. Just
Having a
giving you a check
refresher
on
is
that.
convenient.
Yeah, it it definitely is working. You see that the new shield geometry is working. Great. You see that it has the in my head, but I haven't applied it yet. It has the multi-phasic trait now on your shields. So back up to the bridge.
You have multi-phasic shields?
You do have one. You have one configuration of multiphasic shielding that protects against this specific subspace distortion from it affecting the technology on the ship.
I think that Kelly actually gets to write a paper about this and get a reward, because I don't think Starfleet has done multiphasic shielding until now.
No, I believe she got it from an obtained information. From what I remember correctly. If correct me if I'm wrong, but it's so funny. That's where the quote came from. It's do you have any other questions that you want to refill the plot cook with?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the bridge. Lieutenant Mitchell says, sir, the multiphasic shielding appears to be effective. The speed that I would recommend us moving at, it's still going to be at risk. I would, frankly, if this weren't an emergency situation, I would probably say no way. I can plot a course. So, who wants to control Lieutenant Mitchell? These are going to be 2 roles.
I'll do it.
Yep. One is going to be a normal role. One of them is going to be an extended task.
Oh, good.
So
Is this an activation?
This does count as an activation, yeah. So,
all right.
It doesn't. This is
actually, no. Same mission. You're right. Thank you for keeping me honest. Thank you.
Whose side are you on?
Thank you.
The rule.
We've established that quite clearly.
So, to plot the course, I'm going to require a Reason Con roll. This is going to be tough. So this is going to be, I will allow the ship to assist. I will also allow Ensign Woodyard to assist, given that it was his scans that were able to make it possible.
You said this is Reason Con?
This is Reason Con.
Couldn't possibly be Control Con?
This is Reason Con. Looking at a map, plotting the course off of it.
And maintaining tight control of the ship?
She's not.
This isn't controlling the ship. She's plotting the course.
Alright.
Jesus Christ, Edwards. We're really.
I have my own crew, and they ask the same stupid questions.
I gotta try.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
This is going to be Reason Con. One of my hazards is going to come into effect here. This will be difficulty 3. Difficulty 3, complication range of 3.
Okay. Yep. I think that, can she spend determination? Does she have determination to spend?
She has a value.
She does have a value. Okay, precision in flight, grace in duel. Can we spend that here? This is precision work.
This isn't flight, though.
It's planning a flight.
It is, but so precision in flight, grace in duel. I'm thinking she is a precise flyer in the act of flying. I'm thinking.
Yeah,
okay.
that's how when I wrote it, it was envisioned.
Yeah. Titan, are you there? Trev? Talk to me.
Trev,
muted.
Redisconnect.
Trevor!
Trevor!
Trevor Noah!
Are you there?
Anyway.
Poor guy.
Okay. Would evasive count as a focus?
Unfortunately, no. So.
Oh, come on. She's definitely being evasive.
He can hear us.
Oh, no!
Great. So, unfortunately, no focus will apply with Lieutenant Mitchell. However, Titan, you are not rolling Reason Con. No, you will be, since you're assisting with these. Yep, you are going to be rolling. Yeah, Reason Science. I'll allow as the assist. The Guan Yu will be rolling. This is going to be Sensors Con.
Okay, I'm gonna spend 3 threat to get 2 dice.
3 threat, 2 dice. Alright.
And is there any complication range?
It is complication range of 3.
Okay.
Trev, yeah, I'll allow a focus for you. Okay, no help from Titan.
I'm gonna re-roll that 18.
Thickened quickly, okay.
Or that 19, rather.
Okay. You can, yeah, you can re-roll your, Titan, you can re-roll your dice.
And we have enough to spend. Like, you quash one, we can spend for the other as soon as we see Titan's roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the let me just count this. This is 3, 5, 6. So full pool of momentum.
Spend 2 to quash.
Spend 2 to quash. That will be 4 momentum. You see Lieutenant Mitchell and Titan look at each other, and immediately you see the. Gotcha, Titan. You see the screen in front of you, the window. the view screen rather, you see an overlay pop up of the route that you're going to be taking. You see to the right, you see that the speed that she's going to be taking it at is warp 3.4.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, yeah, we can hear you, Titan. Warp 3.4 is the speed that she's going to be taking it at. You see the time estimated. Estimated time without complication is going to be 3 hours, 4 minutes.
Which gives us 3 hours, which gives us 9 hours to fix this shit. Okay.
So,
we can do that. We can do that in 9 hours.
So, here's how this is going to work. Now comes the fun part. Now this is going to be a extended task.
This is the part I like the most.
With Lieutenant Mitchell. Now, again, who is rolling Lieutenant Mitchell?
I am.
Okay. Kestra is rolling Lieutenant Mitchell. Who will be rolling for the ship? The ship will be allowed to assist.
I would usually was, but Raquel will take care of that for me.
You got that?
Sure, I can do that.
Cool.
The ship, right?
The ship, please. Thank you.
Let's go with the sensors.
Nope. I'm going to tell you what it is in just a second.
All right.
So, Lieutenant Mitchell is going to be rolling. The main roll for this is going to be. This is going to be Control Con. The base difficulty is going to be 4. Base complication range is 3. Control Con Div 4 Comp 3.
Control Con Div 4 Comp 3. Jeez.
The intervals that you have. You do have a good amount of intervals. I'm going to give you 6 before you start going too slow. Give me one moment. Okay. The resistance is 2, and I believe that's all I need for the extended tasks.
Okay, would evasive count as a focus here?
Evasive most definitely would be a focus here, for sure.
Okay, and should I go ahead and spend the value here, or should I hold on to it?
That is completely and totally up to you, depending on what the situation meets with. Rolling out with Sarah.
Okay.
Let me. Oh, and thank you so much. So this is going to be magnitude of 4. Does anybody need a reminder about how this works?
If I remember correctly, we need to get over 4 successes or 5 successes 4 times, right?
Okay. No. So let me explain. So the base roll is Control Con difficulty 4 Comp 3. Okay? That's what you're going to be rolling. The difficulty will go down as you get magnitudes, but if you succeed at that roll, you roll challenge dice. 2 plus whatever her con skill is, which is 6 challenge dice.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get a breach. So that means 5 or more, but you have 2 resistance there as well.
We'll just spin for piercing in that case. Yeah, take 3 threat for 2 dice.
3 threat for 2 dice high.
Focus applies, and we want to get this difficulty down as quickly as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and spend for Precision and Flight, Grace, and Duel. Because if you can get momentum going on these extended tasks, they become easier.
For sure. Now, before that's totally fine if you want to do that right now.
Mm-hmm.
So rolling over 5 on your challenge dice. Mm-hmm. Even if you roll over 10, it's still going to be 1 breach.
Right.
So the as long as you succeed on the roll, the initial roll, the difficulty, and get more than 5, the difficulty will go down no matter what.
Okay, and I guess I'll hold on to that and just...
Yeah. Keep in mind that you have
Like
6 intervals. Oh, alright, we're rolling.
Why is cooking rice always roulette about how long it's gonna fucking take?
Because you don't have
Get a rice cooker. It'll stop
Rokel?
automatically.
Rokel, please give me the Guan Yu's roll for all of these rolls is going to be 1 dice.
I'm going to reroll that 19.
Give me just 1 second before you do that.
I have a rice cooker.
It is going to be... Alright guys, let's lock it in. So, it is going to be... It is going to be Engines Con.
Engines Con. Okay.
So, and then go ahead and roll the ship's dice.
And the ship always has a focus, and it's not complicated.
So, now, going forward, the main roller always rolls first. Anybody who's assisting, including the ship, rolls after. Okay. So just keep that in mind.
I was going to say, just to be clear, I can assist on this roll, correct?
No. You were able to assist on the previous roll. This is literally flying the ship.
Okay,
so she's made her course.
Awesome. Okay,
I'm going to reroll that 19 and quash that 20.
All right, go ahead and reroll your 19. So what you get? Because currently you have succeeded at the task. Okay, that is 5 successes. So out of 4, so that's 1 momentum generated. You're spending 2 to quash the ship's complication.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're down to 3 momentum. Lieutenant Mitchell, please roll 6 challenge dice for me.
Spend 1 for piercing.
Spend 1 momentum for piercing. That gets rid of our resistance. Go ahead and give it a roll. Okay. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is currently a breach at its current amount of dice. Okay. Anything else we want to do with this roll, or do we want to let it stand?
I'll let it stand.
Alrighty, so magnitude. So now it is control con. Con diff 3 of 3 still. Resistance is 2, and then can I shift enter? I can shift enter. And then magnitude is 1 of 4.
Okay, giving you 3 threat for 2 dice.
3 threat for 2 dice, aye?
And that's how we do it. That's how we do it.
Oh,
Let's get the ship.
Roll the ship.
This is what we do. Hey, bitch.
That is a full pool of momentum.
The ship for once is actually helping.
We're gonna spend 1 for piercing.
I know you weren't just bad-mouthing my baby.
Spend 1 for
I badmouth every ship. Don't worry about that.
How dare you, sir?
Go ahead and give 6 challenge dice, please. Alright, that is currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes on that. So that gives you an additional magnitude. Do you want to... Oh, and I'm so sorry. I didn't even set the work track. Here, 1 moment. The work track is actually the most important thing. Hang on. Work track is going to be 16. So, on the work track, you previously had 6. So now we are at 11. So work 11 of 16. Keep in mind that if you were to fill up the work track, that gets you an additional breach.
How is 16 minus 6, 11?
Plus 6 plus 5 is 11.
How is that 5 successes? It says it's 6.
I stand corrected. Apologies.
Yeah, both of them were 6. That's why I'm asking. There was no 5. There were 6 knights.
All right, so
try your Cardassian mind tricks with us, GM.
We are at magnitude 2 of 4. You do. I will just remind you, you do have the option to spend momentum for additional work. If you were to give me 4 momentum, you would get an additional magnitude.
Yeah, but then we wouldn't be able to fix any complications that happen, and I believe in Lieutenant Mitchell, so I'm going to give you 3 more threat, because we're Daredevil, you know, Mad Dogs. Let's do it.
Okay. With that here, the base difficulty goes down to 2, 3. However, just because you're cheeky, I am going to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 to get the difficulty back up to 4. Comprehensive 3, and I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to bring your work track down to 6.
Can he do that?
He can do that.
I absolutely can.
Yes, he can.
That's some bull honky.
Yeah, I've actually failed an extended task before because the GM was doing that.
I'll re-roll that 17.
All right. Let's go with the ship.
Sorry, boy.
All right, so that is 5, 6, 7 successes on a diff 4, so that is 1 with 2 float.
So we're gonna spend 1 for piercing.
Okay.
Is there something we can spend for to make the effects better if we roll any effects?
No. I believe there may be talents for that sort of thing. I don't believe anybody has any of those.
You can...
Oh, we have them, but you know, Mitchell doesn't.
You can use to re-roll dice. Is that what you're?
No.
What you're asking?
So you have 1 floating momentum with piercing taken away. Go ahead and give me your 6 challenge dice. I am counting 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on that.
You can try re-rolling those 2 dice there if you want.
You are at...
I'll spin the float because that's going away after this roll anyway.
Okay. You are capped. Go ahead and roll 2 challenge dice. Wow.
Look at that.
Give me a momentum and you're done.
Okay, take a momentum.
Alrighty. Good job. So, let me describe to you what happens. On the screen in front of you, and by the way, this takes a while. This is 3 hours, so by the time you hear Kestra on your way back up to the bridge, you hear the warp engines turn on. You hear the... number 1, you hear a red alert. Lieutenant Mitchell calls over the comms. General quarters. Hang on, people. This is going to be a bumpy ride.
Kestra's in the turbo lift on the way to the bridge as that happens. Oh, shit.
All right. So, as you walk onto the bridge, heading to warp in 3, 2, brace. 1, go. And immediately, you feel the ship shake violently. On the overlaid display in front of you on the view screen, you see the route that she is currently taking. You see that it loops and curves and goes up the z-axis, down the z-axis, all the way up, left. You see at one point there are 2 huge fissures that are in the way. Lieutenant Mitchell very calmly says, "Hold on to something." The ship turns sideways to make itself thinner. You're all the inertial dampeners and the gravity sensors take a second. You guys are all almost thrown out of your chairs, and right through at warp 3.4 between 2 very large fissures. All right, sorry about that. And you see Hagen, you get psychic waves off of her. Her shoulders, for anybody else, their shoulders would be tight, tensed, their eyes are focused, but Lieutenant Mitchell, her back just leans back into the chair, her arms extend out. You see at one point, you're watching her eyes close as she gets closer and closer to an anomaly, and hits a button, you jerk down, and she's just so relaxed. Just focus.
Castro, I can't say the thoughts that Kestra are having because they're not appropriate for YouTube, but interesting. Continue.
You see just a tiniest little bead of sweat go down the side of her face. She fixes her glasses while flying through multiple anomalies. She pushes the glasses up to her nose, and you see Lieutenant Dune's like, wow, why am I getting sick from this? I've been on ships my whole life. Now just sit back and relax, Lieutenant. Have some fun. And you careen through these obstacles. So, that was fun. What do you guys all sit on the bridge for 3 hours, or what are you doing?
Once Sarah is underway and engineering's not on fire, I'm going to gather my staff, and we are going to come up with a plan for when we get there.
So good. So fantastic. That's great. Who all you calling? Just so I know.
So we're only going here.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going far from the bridge. I'm taking Rokel, Woodyard. I'm taking Woodyard. Entenstrasser, take over sensors for Mitchell. Dune, you've got the bridge. Saoirse, when you have a minute, join me in the meeting room. And Dr. Grix.
You're right there, Captain.
Dr. Grix as well. All right.
Yeah,
so, am I just going to be on the bridge?
Staff. Yeah, you join us.
You did not say my name. You said Dr. Grix.
I said, Lieutenant Dune, you've got the bridge.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And of course you're coming with me.
I thought I was just left out.
No, you're not part of the Cool Kids Club, apparently.
There's a height requirement in this meeting?
Yeah, truly. We can measure at the door. And where's my boy Grix?
What's that threat that Charles Xavier used? Don't do that unless you want to spend the rest of your life thinking you're a 3-year-old girl.
8-year-old girl or 12-year-old girl? Either way.
I believe might be the scariest thing ever. Do you know that he can do it?
Yeah. And he would do it because Charles Xavier is a scary motherfucker.
Yeah. He's like, no, you guys are only alive because I'm allowing it.
Right.
Dr. Grix. Do you invite Dr. Talos?
Is he senior staff?
He is technically a counselor. So he fills a position on senior staff. But it's up to you.
I thought Talos was on the station, not with us.
No, he's our resident ship's counselor now.
Yeah, he's the station counselor and ours. When we're docked, he takes additional patients on, but he comes with us. Yeah, no, if he's with us, then he's invited. Okay, I am calling the senior staff to the meeting.
Alrighty. You can see that I've done some work in the background. And you guys fill up all the chairs! Look! Perfect!
So where are we going to put our Talaxian cook?
Oh, shit. God damn it. You see a red shirt hustling with a chair.
Here's the problem. We've got 3 doctors at this table.
Technically, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, because Kelly definitely has a doctorate, as does Woodyard. You've got 3 medical doctors at the table.
All right. I'm going to have us take a 5-minute break right now. I need to go to use the restroom, and I also need to eat dinner, so I will be right back, all right?
Good.
All right.
What we're going to talk about.
So about that Subspace Rhapsody.
I'm gonna be out of town too.
So about
It's
that
so
Gear
good.
5.
That what?
Gear
He's
5.
talking One Piece.
Have you not watched One Piece, Jack?
No, I do not care about One Piece at all. I
How
cannot
is that
stand the
the
art style.
one piece of anime that you haven't watched?
The art style bothers the fuck out of me. And it's not that One Piece. There's a lot of Clamp I can't stand as well.
I've got no one to nerd out about it with, and I'm sad.
Well, we could nerd out about Subspace Rhapsody.
I haven't watched it yet.
What are you doing with your life?
I don't have the streaming service, okay?
Okay, I definitely won't solve that problem over the next few minutes for you. Wait, how behind in the season are you? Obviously all of it.
I want to be clear. I do not have that streaming service, nor have I ever. I want to watch it. I just have not had the opportunity.
Scene. Then I cannot help you with that.
I've seen clips of it. Saw Spock singing, which I thought was funny.
Oh, it's even better. It's even better than you think. Because it's not a musical episode. It's the crew of the USS Enterprise being thrust into a musical unwillingly.
I think I saw a clip of Klingons doing pop.
Yeah.
They are not happy.
It's K-pop.
Why aren't the Klingons doing opera? That's what I want to know.
Because
it's funnier.
A, it's funnier. B, it actually makes sense in the story.
It does, and that's the best part.
Yeah. These are my favorite types of musicals, or musical episodes, is when there's a reason people are singing. Like Scrubs the musical. Only when the patient was on scene were they singing, because she had some sort of brain thing that was causing her to see the world in song.
They did that same thing on Grey's Anatomy.
Yep.
This General Sauce came out amazing.
Hey, Trev, you back?
Yeah, there were some very exciting things happening at DeLongpre Manor. Sorry, I had to step away, but I was still listening in on my phone. we have a bird nest on our roof, and it fell into the ground, and so we were.
So that's why you're out of breath.
So I heard a couple of
eggs.
Screams and talking, and the whole entire apartment complex was outside, just gathered around this thing, and I wanted to see what was going on. So everybody had to help get the thing back on the roof where it belonged. A whole bunch of birds were there. It was great. We helped baby
now, when
chicks.
you say birds, do you mean feathered people, or are you old enough that you mean women?
I'm not British. No, that's a horrible British accent. No,
you didn't say the T's. That's all you need.
I mean, feathered creatures were outside, and I was wondering what was going on, so I had to go outside real quick to see what was happening, because we've had lots of exciting things happen on my street lately, and I wanted to see if this was a continuation. So it was not.
One of the things that I hold near and dear to my heart that I know for sure is that Leonard Nimoy and Spock would probably get along, and James T. Kirk would beat the shit out of William Shatner.
Yeah, 100%.
I think he'd do worse than that. He'd give him a Kirk speech.
Oh, no.
And then beat the shit out of him.
No, he'd beat the shit out of him after William Shatner would try to pull a how dare you on him.
Don't you know who I am? William Shatner blocked me on Twitter. Or X now.
Really? Doesn't he only block people who tweet at him? Or are you just associated with somebody who he...
I just replied to a thing that he posted, like a bunch of other people did, about Autism Speaks, and I was like, hey, Autism Speaks isn't great. So maybe you should like look at other groups. Here's some, and he blocked me.
Ah, yeah, he's sensitive. You guys will realize once you get to your 30s that you
To
guys
be honest,
talking about.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
If I ever get to the point where I start using my age as an excuse to not learn things, I want someone to put a bullet in my head.
I gotta tell you, I don't even know if it's like, because here's the thing: is I seriously, and this is not I'm not bragging, or this is not a good thing. It's a bad thing. I'm seriously getting to the point where I don't care anymore about certain things. For instance, like I care less about my appearance. Like I'll go outside dressed like a like a old man a lot of times. Like Trevor, you're going. I'm like, I don't care if anybody sees me.
I mean, I do that too.
You don't
but
have
I'm
to be
autistic.
60 for that.
I know. But I used to care.
I never did.
I used to care. I used to care about like what brand shoes I was wearing. Now I'm like, look, if it's Payless and it's comfortable, I'll wear it.
I've gone full comfort in my life. I now
Good for
wear
you, though.
ebony Scrooge-style nightshirts as my loungewear. I'm 36.
Do y'all know about Palessi?
Wasn't she the doctor in season 2?
No. Or that's Pulaski.
I know.
Palessi was a Payless shoe store that closed down and reopened as like, look at all these like incredible shoes, and they just took Payless shoes and added a couple zeros to the cost, and people were buying them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and they interviewed people, and they were talking about how quality, like, this is real quality shoes. This is great. I do remember that. It's got to be on YouTube somewhere.
That is, I think, one of the best critiques of consumer culture I have ever fucking seen.
Well, there was that big thing about how California wines became famous.
Yes.
They had that big blind taste test and against all these French wines, and everybody picked the California wines instead of the French wines. And so people started saying, "Oh, I guess we might as well buy California wines now."
That's because all red wine is varying degrees of vinegar.
Look, to be honest, a friend of mine went to France, and I said, I don't want anything back from France except for a bottle of wine. And he got me a bottle of wine, and it tasted literally like dirt, like earth, and I was not happy about that.
Yeah.
Especially
Have
since
any of you heard of Pascual Toso?
No.
Sorry,
No.
I don't watch football.
It is a wine vineyard founded in 1890 in Argentina, apparently. All I know about it is that I have a bottle of wine dedicated to my mom, signed one Enrique Toso. So, that's neat.
Wow. All right, folks. I'm sure everything has been out of character, but
Guess who's back?
so.
Is it me? No, BRB.
Oh God.
I'm fucking with you.
Okay. Yeah. So we are back in the action here. The scene ends and begins. I take momentum. So, Captain Edwards, you all file in. You see Dr. Grix and Dr. Talos walk in step and say, well, listen, just take my recommendations and just call me if they don't work. And Talos says, I understand, Doctor. I appreciate your administrations as always. And Dr. Grix sits, and they say, sorry, we're late. This is our sort of first meeting of this area, and we haven't had time for a full tour yet, so what can we do for you?
Well, as you know, we're on our way to Oregon 3. We're going to attempt to either save the planet, evacuate as many people as we can, which isn't a whole lot on our ship, so I'd like to save that planet, which is why I gathered you all here. Saoirse is our leading expert in the Mai technology, which is, if I remember correctly, currently holding the planet almost in its orbit. And we need to, and it's also creating all the subspace mess that Lieutenant Mitchell is flying through at this moment. So,
judging by what we're flying through, Captain, I'd say that it's probably well off its orbit by now.
Yeah. I don't think there's going to be a lot we can do when we get there, but we're going to try. So, I need you to take the next...
wasn't Sunny supposed to be on the way to the planet? Couldn't she help with the programming of the computer? Maybe fix this?
But we can't guarantee she'll get there in time. If she shows up great, we will definitely use that asset. So we got about 3.5 hours before we arrive in Oregon 3. Ensign, would you take this time and get as much data as you can on the subspace anomalies that we're dealing with?
Aye, Captain.
Quick point of order. Quick question. Have the doctors been read in on the Mai?
No.
We should probably do that.
Yeah, you see Dr. Talos and Dr. Grix share a glance at each other, and Dr. Grix sort of does the, yeah, we're not read in look.
Yeah. My apologies, doctors. Long story short, I'm going to get you the
I have the
clearances, but out here in the Shackleton, we deal with a highly sophisticated entity known as the Mai and the Varonk, and that's pretty much our go-to problem out here. So, Commander Kestra, please give them the pads, and I'll get your security clearances updated. Welcome to the
I hand 2 pads to each of them, and we're giving you provisional clearance now because you need to understand this in order to be involved.
No lectures about plugging myself into a supercomputer, please. We've been there.
Yeah, don't do it again.
Right.
Don't do it. Lecture me or plug myself into the supercomputer.
Yes.
No promises.
Now, the last time we were here, the Lormian people weren't exactly happy with our Prime Directive and not being able to help them right away. Obviously, we've lost 4 months of the time we thought we had, and it seems that Starfleet has dropped the ball. So, this is falling on us. Now, the Orions are involved, but that could just be them trying to get a foothold in the near the Shackleton on the edge of our space, but we can't guarantee that my computer systems and the Lormians are the only problems we have to deal with. So, Raquel, I need you to be prepared for possible enemy encounters if and when we either get to the planet, but considering the space, I doubt that's going to be a problem, or possibly on planet side.
I think civil unrest would be our bigger threat.
I'm not too concerned about civil unrest because I'm going to contact their government, and we can't force them to accept our help, but they also can't stop us from trying to fix the computer.
And at this point, the Prime Directive would no longer apply as the Orions have made contact, correct?
The Prime Directive never applied in the first place, and I'm really mad about it.
And the My Computers, the Prime Directive has not applied at this situation at all. So, we are going to treat them like a race of warp-capable people who have no ships to evacuate themselves, and are looking for our help.
We should expect that the government of the Lormians will not be entirely receptive based on the conversation I had with the first... Who was it that I spoke to?
First Minister Bekek.
With First Minister Bekek, he said something along the lines that he had pleaded with his government and that they had not listened. And I don't want to read too much in between the lines there, but it doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't, and that's why I'm thinking there's some sort of external factor. Like, I know individuals might give up, but an entire planet? No.
Let's go. Give me
Yes.
Give me a fitness medicine check, difficulty of 1.
Oh, good. Fitness medicine?
Yep.
Okay. Would
Medicine's
telepathic
your
prowess
score.
apply?
At complication increase, yes.
What about composure?
Composure, I would take, definitely, yeah.
Okay. I'll spend a momentum just to get that reroll possibility.
Right.
Dear Lord. Okay. I'll reroll that 18, see if I can get a momentum here. Jesus.
Okay.
There we go.
Hey.
Okay. 2 momentum generated on that. Kestra, you feel a headache come on. Mild to moderate migraine. Sort of lingers a little bit, but starts to subside slightly, but it's still present.
Okay. And I think Kesha, like, takes a second and closes her eyes and brings a hand up to her head and just kind of rubs it.
Are you feeling all right?
Dr.
Dr. Talos looks up.
I think it might be some lingering effects. It's just a migraine. Oh.
All right.
Do we have after this, I'll need some painkillers.
Dr. Grix looks up and says, "All right. Well, we seem to have a little bit of time, so stop by sickbay if you need to."
Okay. What was I saying? Oh, right. The my, and sorry, my mind's a little bit scattered. Also, we should probably talk about the fact that whatever that entity outside that got into our ship is all one consciousness. And it is conscious and telepathic. And that might be a problem.
One problem at a time, Kestra. Now, unless there are any other questions, or actually any questions at all.
I suppose Dr. Talos looks up. Are we intending on landing on the planet? From what I understand about these subspace distortions, they could have some sort of effect on transporters.
Yes, so I actually did have, before we even left Starbase Fortitude, I did have Lieutenant Mitchell brush up on Blue Alert procedures, so we will likely be landing the ship.
All right.
Any other questions?
No, I believe not.
Actually, where is the, how many cities are on this planet?
That is information we don't have, but we would have.
Because if they're out of here, because if they're all spread out, it's going to be very difficult to try to evacuate people.
There is little we can do in the forms of an evacuation.
Give me one momentum and I'll tell you. Or you can do a roll to figure it out.
But that's what I was saying. Like, we had a scientific team. We've been there before, and we knew we were coming here. This would be information that's just available on our computers. It wouldn't necessarily be an obtain information roll. It would just be a walking over to the computer and asking that question.
Yep. Sure. You type in that information. You see the lights darken in here slightly. And, I'm sorry, these potatoes have a lot of seasoning on them.
Saoirse, get this fucking computer fixed. Sweet merciful Christ.
It's my actual real life potato.
When it comes to
sorry,
this shit and random food stuff, I can't trust anything.
Speaking of which, the replicator in the corner.
Alright, hang on one second.
Just didn't exist until we needed it to exist, and now we have that problem to deal with.
Dr. Grix looks behind him and says, "There's a full banana split. Did somebody order that?"
Computer, recycle banana split.
Dibs. Damn it.
Raquel takes out his phaser and just says, "I can shoot it if you want."
Whoa! And Dr. Dell says, "Why are we taking out weapons?
Please put the weapon away."
Let the record show that I object to a perfectly good banana split going to waste.
Well, that's good news, because there is now 2.
So she's gonna stand up,
the extra.
walk over, take both of them, hand one to Woodyard.
Yep.
Okay.
What's his face?
Alright, people, we've got 3.5 hours before we arrive there. I'm gonna bring everyone back together.
I was gonna tell you the information. I'm so sorry. You said the word replicator, and it got my face going. You see the hologram pops up. They are just centered on one big main city. You've been there. The population of the planet isn't huge, but it is. The estimates that you got on your initial survey, were between 200 and 250,000. You see that they've concentrated in one area, that area being directly above the power source that you had originally, the quote-unquote power source that you originally found, that turned out to be the My Cave. All of the development outside it is very agrarian. You see, like, there are some sects of the population, you see sort of cultural databases come up. The brief time that you were there, you see that they had propulsor technology, they had gliders, you rode on the gliders. From the data that you got from the Tesla, you were able to see there are people who are hunter-gatherers, like, who it's their main cultural duty to go out and find food and live just sort of on their own. So there are very small pockets of scattered population elsewhere on the planet, but they appear to be pretty much centered around that main area.
Okay, so it's kind of like a one big metroplex, really, pretty much.
Yeah, and it's not even like, compared to, present day Earth, think like Chicago, but with, well, what's the population of Chicago? Probably pretty high. Think,
yeah, 2.6 million.
Think Kansas City, but with taller buildings.
Okay. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
it's about that size, but there's forests pretty much covering the entire planet, other than some oceans. It's considered to be a very high quality Class M planet. It could be considered a Gaia world if there weren't people already living there.
Kansas City has double the population.
All right. Well,
But
think of a
I
city.
get what you mean.
Okay,
I get
Yeah.
the size of the city
Fluid.
doesn't matter. Rokel,
It's just
evacuation.
Charleston, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Sure.
Evacuation isn't our main concern. There's very little we can do on an Intrepid. Our goal is to stabilize the planet and remove the subspace distortions long enough to get actual ships in to evacuate the 300,000 or so people. Dr. Talos, over the next 3 hours, I need to know exactly how many people we can fit on this ship if we put them shoulder to shoulder in every free space.
Are we talking all rooms, or are we talking corridors as well?
Rooms to start. Give me 2 numbers: rooms and then and corridors included.
1 moment.
You've got 3 hours.
He's just gonna be able to tell you.
Cargo bays as well, I think.
Rooms, cargo
Put those
bays,
to use.
and any empty space that we can possibly fill with refugees. I'd like, if I could, I'd fill the corridors, but we need to leave space for emergency crews to run through.
Emergency protocols for a Detrippid class starship that are published are. You see, Talos is pulling this up. He has this based off of memory. Is 4,000 people. Is our emergency fill all rooms like sardine cans. That includes triage areas for any injured. That includes separate places for older people who need to be kept together to keep an eye on all of them. That includes filling auxiliary hallways. And we could probably push that to 4,500 if we filled the Jeffries tubes as well, but that might make engineering more difficult.
Now, we won't fill the Jeffries tubes, however, we will ditch the shuttles if it makes more space.
Okay. And if we're ditching the shuttles, it's going to be that entire shuttle base, so that's another 750 people.
Perfect. So, that is our last scenario. Pitt bringing in that many people onto the ship. We want to stabilize the planet, remove the subspace fields first. Dr. Talos, I want you to come up with a plan to rescue 4,500 to 5,000 people. Correction, space to put them and get the transporters ready to go for when we get there.
Stands up immediately.
Transport's not that big an issue.
Yeah. Counselor Stab, report to my office, and you actually see that without being dismissed, he walks out.
All right, the rest of you have jobs to do. Any questions?
No,
Captain,
sir.
I can't make any guarantees about what I am going to be able to do with that computer.
I'm aware of that. That's why I have Dr. Talos on the backup.
Once we're done here, Raquel will try to secure all the weapons and stuff, and we'll also brief his security team.
I have a question for the GM.
Yeah.
Does my technology tend to have a telepathic component?
So, like your tricorders and stuff?
My technology. As in the mod.
Oh. MAI, not
You
yours.
named them.
Okay. You're right.
You made this name.
That's a really good question. There are... Actually, I'm not sure if you would even know.
We've run into my technology before, and I've discussed it with Sunny. Not in, like, super great detail, but I've asked about it.
From what you know, my technology... The Mai is a telepathic and psionic species. Their technology takes that into account. So, not all stuff has physical like pads that you could, like tactile interfaces, which is why having someone like Kelly down on the planet made it so much easier, because any tactile displays that were there were dead. They were just so old and decrepit, and from being in that cave for that long, that having Kelly's
Kelliness.
sort of Borgness with technology really came in handy. You think that you would be able to assist in that regard telepathically?
Right, that's my thought. Not just can I assist with it, my thought is if we combine my telepathy with her technical ability, do I get the sense that maybe we could fix this problem? Because before it was just her. No telepathy involved. She was able to hook up to the mechanical components, but my technology isn't just mechanical.
Yeah. You could venture a wild guess. There's one way to find out, is the way I'm going to answer that.
Okay. I'm going to present that theory. Before we go, I did have a thought.
Mm-hmm.
My technology is not just mechanical. It's psionic in nature. Part of the reason I believe that Kelly had such difficulty before was that she was trying to access a system using an interface that it was not designed to be accessed with. I believe that if we work in conjunction, we may have a better chance of actually fixing this.
Well, as it stands now, you'll be leading the away team down to the computer. So, if you can come up with anything over the next 3 hours with the data we have, great. If not, you're going to get a chance firsthand.
Kelly, do you want to work with me on this?
Sure.
I'd like to work with you too. One of my subdoctorate studies is in archaeology, and I think this machine is really fascinating and really old. And I also want to.
We can use all the help we can get.
I also want to investigate the causes of the fissures, and I feel like since this is kind of an epicenter, maybe this has something to do with it, and I think it might help me in my research.
How's your xenotechnology?
It's decent.
That does not engender confidence.
I have been brushing up on my xenopsychology, so I may be able to, help understand how or why they built it, and therefore how to better work it.
Alright.
Okay, Titan Sersha, you can start on your research. Kester, I believe you have a date with sickbay before you go.
I already went to sickbay.
Dr. Greg says, you know exactly what he's talking about. Come on.
Dr. Greg, a moment, please. He'll be with you in a moment, Kester.
Yes, Captain. Steps aside.
And so you can prepare your security forces. Remember, we might be bringing in 4,000 people, so let them know.
Sersha recycles the empty banana split thing.
Yeah.
And then pulls out a bag of small brown things and starts munching on them.
Titan says to Kelly, I don't know what's wrong with the replicator. That banana split was great.
Yeah, but nobody asked for it.
That's a nice
Sersha slowly turns and looks at the replicator.
I think it might have just made that noise on its own.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
I'll let you get to work.
Dr. Grix sort of stands. Yeah, he's gonna sit back in his chair.
Oh, we'll stand up with him.
Okay.
Doctor, I'm worried about Kestra.
Yes.
I need her on this, but I need to know. You've got 3 hours to make sure she's good to send. If she's not, let me know.
Captain, I have one maybe obvious thing to mention. From the small amount of data that I've just learned about this machine, she's going to be surrounded by not one, but potentially tens of thousands of very powerful psychic entities. Now, they, from what I have heard, they appear to be friendly. You made friends, apparently, with one.
Sunny. And Oblivious, but that was a rockier meeting.
Right. There's never going to be a 100% safe way. I'm not a telepathic expert. I wish I was. I'm not a psionics expert, but this I have to trust that Kestra knows. And I saw that today, that right now. I'm not sure if that's just simply from the injuries that she took earlier today. I don't know if it's some sort of, we're getting closer to this thing. Maybe it's some sort of effect that's going to get worse as we get further.
As you've seen in her file, she's had a number of telepathic injuries as of late. You just need to keep an eye on it.
Yes, Captain.
Do everything you can to help her.
I will.
Dismissed.
Now,
go ahead.
You take care of yourself too, Captain. She's not the only one who has her injuries. You have maybe not mental injuries. Well, it's not for me to say, but you are a scarred man standing here. I'd advise caution.
I'll take it under advisement.
Thank you. Thanks, sir. And turns around and starts heading down to sickbay. All right, so where to go? I think we'll go ahead. Yeah, we'll start with security here. Just one moment.
Okay.
Quarters.
Just to let you guys know, Raquel has no idea what the Mai is either. I mean, I know, but the character has no idea.
You would be under the same, we're temporarily increasing your security clearance and giving you the same information.
Okay.
Well, technically we would have done that in advance of. It's not like this is... We have such a big brig for Intrepid because you have this override force here.
The security officers appear to have been notified of your arrival, and when you walk in, Raquel, they are standing in a line at attention.
Good day, gentlemen. All right.
Sure. Says the closest one.
As you guys are all aware, maybe aware, we will be arriving at Oregon. Okay, out of character. The planet's called Oregon 3, right?
Oregon 3. Yep.
Oregon 3. We are about to arrive at Oregon 3. There is a possibility, that is, if things really hit the fan, that we may very well have to take in 4,000 people. So I would like to have everything secured and prepared for that kind of scenario. I will also need a security officer too, down with the away team. That will be going down to the surface. Out of character, just kind of like a refresh. We did decide on one away team to go down, right?
Kelly's gonna have to put her team together.
Okay. Right, just that one away team?
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
it's up to Gestra. Gestra is in charge of it. Yeah,
okay.
So...
Alright. We will be landing the ship for this. Kind of like a bird of prey, actually. Because bird of preys can actually land on planets, just like Intrepids.
Security officers all look at you and smile.
And he keeps on talking. Any rate, we're going to have a very busy day. Any questions?
The closest person speaks up and says, "No, sir." Turns to the person to his left and says, "We're going to emergency protocol. Security staff should be at all sensitive areas on the ship. Engineering, bridge. The brig cells should remain locked. Weapons stowed. All that good stuff. And we may be required to assist with any skirmishes amongst any of the people that we're taking on."
Yes, and there might be if this has been brought up, and I am a little concerned of it, there might be a little bit of civil unrest too. So just keep that in mind. You might have to break up fights too. Right. Keep that in mind as well. All right, awesome. And also, the medical might need help as well, because we might very well be taking on 4,000 people out of character. Every Starfleet officer is trained in triage, so everyone has basic knowledge in medical, basically.
Yeah,
So,
Medicine Sword 1 is you took the required training at the academy.
Yeah. Everyone has that kind of training. So, if they need help with medical, help them out as well if you can. But again, this is going to be a very busy day, and this is already, and we're already probably going to be stretched thin for this.
Yes, sir. We understand. Jansen, let's go ahead and start locking up the weapons and everything. You are on call just in case you're called for the away team. So unless there's anything else, we have some work to do. It sounds like.
Nope. That is all.
Okay. Yeah, you see that immediately. Your security officers jump into work. You see the two at the end go over to the security office lockers, lock those up. You see the two head out the door. You see some other non-token security staff was in here as well. They begin going out. Yeah. Go ahead and give me just for me. Go ahead and give me a presence security roll. Go ahead and give me difficulty. Yeah, you're giving orders to a security staff. Go ahead and give me that at difficulty. I'll say of 2.
Will Starfleet protocols come in as a focus?
I'll allow that. Yeah.
Okay. And difficulty was 3 or 2?
2.
2. Okay. And I'll go ahead and give you. Yeah, I'll go ahead and give you 1 threat. I'm very nice to you. I'll give you 1 threat for bold. And I will go ahead and re-roll the 17. The 17 is the failure, right?
Both the 15 and the 17 are a failure, so you need to roll 1 more success.
All right, we'll go ahead and re-roll 1 of those.
Mm-hmm.
My God. Jeez. All right. We're going to go ahead and I don't want to use my determination. So we'll go ahead and squash that comp, and I'm afraid I'm just going to have to accept this fail.
Okay. You see the senior members of your security staff have appeared to have caught your meeting. Some of the more junior staff sort of follows behind some of the senior staff. You see that they're sort of under their breath, sort of whispering, okay, did I make sure? Yeah, just so we need to do this. We need to work with medical. And you see that they're talking amongst themselves and making sure that everybody's going to the right place. You see.
Questor, can you just mute your mic for a minute?
Sorry.
Because it sounds like a.
Were you trying to eat it?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It sounds like.
Yeah, that's okay. I was sorry. I was trying to fight through it, but then it got so bad. So yeah, you see, basically, they're gonna do the things that you told them to do, as well as they possibly can. So you do not get an advantage, unfortunately.
Oh, damn.
But they will do what is required of them. Okay. I'm going to take him.
Yeah, I probably should have spent my determination, but maybe not, though. Oh, well.
That's totally fine. Alrighty, heading over. It's taking a moment to change the scene, and I'm going to step away for just a moment. I will be right back.
Me too. I think we should change every day in his calendar to Sunday, so you just do this every day.
I don't know. I got other games on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but other than that, I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you hungry?
I was not eating my mic. For some reason, it was not working, and then it started working as I was trying to move it, and it just...
Nom 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 nom.
Sounds like you were trying to eat it.
I was
Sounds like
not,
you were
I
hungry.
promise.
So, who else has Baldur's Gate 3?
I do.
Awesome. What are you playing?
Oath of Vengeance, Dragonborn Paladin.
Nice. I have a Taekwon boot monk. She's just here to punch people.
We gotta start a multiplayer campaign.
Yeah, I just bought Baldur's Gate because you guys recommended it so highly. So after it downloads, we'll see how it goes.
You know the trick of how to beat the goblin encampment? Or at least the main big room with Razglin?
Punching?
No.
But
So,
punching.
you know where all the Zents are? The Zentarim in the back corner?
Yeah?
You know how there's a door, and behind that door there's a room with all their stuff in it?
Yeah?
That room is filled with gunpowder barrels. So you can pick up the gunpowder barrels, drag them all into the other room, and just set them out strategically. Hit one of them with a firebolt, and the whole room blows up.
Oh, my sweet summer child. No, 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 no. I bring them everywhere. And set up those strategic plans.
That's not very punching.
Well, you still have to fight the other things, because once you kill him, everything in the goblin camp turns hostile. So, yeah.
Alright. So, we are going to head... I already took momentum away for the new scene. Thank you so much for your patience, everybody. We are going to head over... Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? We're going to go down to... Oh, yeah, we're going to a science lab.
Science lab's getting a surprising amount of work this season. In Season 4, well, actually, I don't think we had rooms before Season 4, so...
We did not. So, actors menu, who's here? We're going to have... Kelly. Oh, Tiny Kelly. And Woodyard. I'm going to leave your token size like that. You both walk into a pristine-looking science room. You see a couple of science ensigns are looking at scans of the planet on the holographic viewer. For historical scans. Our science and engineering people, what would you like to do?
Well, I would like to investigate the data on all the data on the machine, on the jerry-rigging that you did to fix the problem last time. It was effective in treating the symptom of the problem, but unfortunately, it didn't solve the problem itself. Not because you're not smart.
Kelly, are you there? No. Kelly, you're making brownies or something?
If Kelly was there, Woodard would have been flat on the ground by now. But
here.
Sorry, I was typing something.
Oh, okay. You're usually cooking something during this, because it is, I mean, it's breakfast for you right now, so, but yeah, we can absolutely take a look at that. You pull up the schematics up. I can just give everybody a little refresher on the jurying process that was done previously.
Please.
And I'm going to be heading down into this science lab in a little bit to work on this with them.
Absolutely. We're doing some timey-wimey stuff, but,
Back in time.
The process previously, and I had to look up the original module in which this came from, which apparently is not available anywhere anymore. I couldn't find it. It was a part of the original playtest, and I truly, honestly cannot find it.
It should be a part of one of the
adventure
books, right?
It is not.
Yeah.
Oh,
not
wow.
many of them.
Do I have everything I need to make brownies? I do.
Anyway.
Oh god.
It's not. Oh my god. It's not in the Shackleton Expanse book either.
It is not. No.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, they had pre-built characters and everything for it. So anyway, so the process that you had before, Kelly was able to interact with the consoles and get pretty much a status check of their readouts and what was all happening with the machine. To give you an idea what the machine was all about, and you can see Kelly, you and Titan, Kelly, you access your original logs from that mission and bring it up on the holographic viewer. You see sort of a readout of all of the systems that the Mai had imposed on this planet. The first thing is they apparently have planetary-sized gravity distortion devices that are able to pull, that essentially affected the mass of the planet, and they were able to affect the speed of the orbit as well as the plane of the ecliptic, and align it in the exact sweet spot that's needed to create life. To rather allow life to be created. So they were able to physically change the path of the planet and the speed that it's orbiting the main star. They had climate control interfaces. They had geometric, geological disturbances that were rectified by thermal generators that were moderating the core activity. They instead of terraforming a planet in its current orbit, they geoformed a planet. They took a planet that was lifeless, moved it into an area that could create life, and then through other means generated an atmosphere. They changed the seismic qualities of the planet and made it conducive for this form of life.
Yeah, the phrase terraforming does not do it justice.
Geoforming.
Yeah.
Well, if they change the mass and trajectory of the planet.
Well,
yeah.
And geoforming is just like changing a planet's geological formations and shit. Terraforming is making a planet habitable.
Yeah.
They did both.
They did both with a little bit of Uber.
Yeah. This is terraforming to a scale that I've never heard or seen before. They were messing with the fundamental principles of the universe. Changing gravitational fields, mass. They threw the equations out the window. Can I do any kind of investigative role on the machine? Perhaps there's some kind of, by looking at the readouts that Kelly took the last time you were there.
I will. How about this? Because this is information that Kelly got troves and troves of.
Sure.
I will allow you to ask me questions. I'll give you a couple of very good free questions. How about that?
Okay. My first question is, I have big questions, but I think the little questions should lead to the big questions. But I'm just going to ask the big questions first.
Whatever you'd like.
Does the changing of the mass and the gravitational pull and the internal structure of the rock, does that cause? Is that what I think? Do I think that's the cause of the subspace fissures that we've been navigating through? Is the big question.
Yeah. So, that is a very big question, and it's a very good question. They, for sure, on a planetary scale, did a lot of wild shit. Ain't no way, though, that even if it's future tech, there is no possible way that it can cause light years of subspace distortions.
Correct. Which leads me to my second question.
Yeah.
We know that the creatures who reside on this planet, the indigenous species on this planet, did not create this machine. So, did they perhaps create it throughout the region? And maybe is there a way to triangulate the existence of the subspace fissures with the space that it inhabits to triangulate to see what the epicenter is, or if the planet itself or the machine itself is emanating some kind of force or some kind of energy that is creating it, so that we can maybe discover other planets in the system, in the surrounding systems in the sector that have these machines on them.
When we turned it on, didn't it start pinging other my installations?
It did. Yeah, that's how you found Vanguard. So, you turned, as a complication, actually, Jack, if you remember this, the beacon, which is like capital beacon, pretty much, like, it almost killed Kelly. Like, you see in the log, turning on this amount of data into the size of a human, even Borg inspired brain, almost killed Kelly. The only other option for Kelly was to transmit it out of the beacon. And this data, pretty much, after a while, you were able to ping a good deal of my installation worlds that you haven't been to yet. One you have been. You've been to Vanguard. Named also by Kelly, I believe.
Yep.
But there are still planets out there that have yet to be explored.
You know, in the 2 months of our time we've spent together, we've been busy.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Could the machines on all these different planets be working in conjunction, not only to change the conditions for life on these planets, but in the sector? And not necessarily for a good thing. I mean, like, could their collective forces be what's causing a completely spatial shift in the entire sector or region?
There was a big ass grid of big, like, sector or quadrant size control. Kelly would have clocked that immediately.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking is I'm saying that if we somehow shut down this machine, does that mean that we have to go to these other planets and shut down their machines as well in order to keep the subspace fissures from growing or becoming more turbulent, or not from getting bigger, but from more forming? From making this entire region of space die of 1,000 tiny cuts.
This appears to be an isolated incident with this one installation.
Okay. So
this is just
malfunction.
This is just idle speculation on my part.
Mm-hmm. In character or out of character?
In character.
Okay.
But the planetary engine shouldn't technically be able to do. She gestures vaguely at all the subspace distortions. That. I wonder if this is a Veronk weapon. Just targeting a my installation that they know of.
A Veronk weapon, which is other dimensional, using the machine here on Organ 3 to access our galaxy, our universe, our reality.
Well, the location of the machine on Organ 3 may be coincidental. It may just be that is the loudest my beacon they can detect. And I stress again, this is all idle speculation. I have no supporting evidence for any of this.
But it's a brilliant brilliant hypothesis, Lieutenant
Founded
Commander.
on literally nothing.
But that's the best kind of science.
I think a brilliant hypothesis needs to have supporting evidence.
Well, It's our job to go out and find that evidence.
Yeah, but we should not operate under any assumptions.
You're correct.
So, with that idle conjecture, we're going to move to sickbay. Same scene. These guys are all good.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
That was incredible.
Oh my god.
Very close.
Trevor's like, I
Thank you.
feel young again.
Young, we saw that in high school. In the air.
Yeah.
Very funny. No, I actually got Max solely so I could watch Super Friends, and then they took it off Max. So now I'm like, great.
Did I activate sickbay? Yes, I did. Okay. You walk in. Dr. Grix is waiting for you with a hypospray and with his tricorder.
Doctor?
Alright. Sorrel, you can take a 5-minute break.
Oh dear.
Sorrel goes, yes, doctor, I was just sleeping. And walks over into the lab. I need you to be honest with me.
Mm-hmm.
Kestra.
Yes.
You and I are friends.
Yes.
There's something going on psionically.
Yes.
You had a headache just now.
Yes. I'm not certain if it is a psionic event, or if it is simply a remainder from having my eye pop out of my skull. So, to be honest...
Kestra, give me a fitness medicine check. Difficulty 2, comp 3.
Oh. Would composure apply? Because it did last time?
Yeah, I'll accept it.
You said comp 3?
Comp 3, yep.
Spend a momentum to get a dice.
Okay.
Hey, I'm fine.
You're able to hold it together and remain composed. The headache has been pulsing in your head for a bit now. It's getting worse.
Could I get that painkiller?
Sure. And this painkiller is psionic suppressant. Kestra, I'm going to be as serious as I possibly can. The captain is worried. He's not going to talk to you about it, because you two need to be professional and have no strings while you're on that bridge. But you're going to be leading an away team.
You're right, I am. And my abilities could very well spell the difference between succeeding and not.
You're quite right.
If you can modulate it, simply to not remove the abilities, but lessen them, I think that might be better. Because I agree, it's getting worse.
You hear a voice in your head.
Oh no.
And it sounds like this. You don't want your powers gone.
Doctor?
You don't want that. And there's a funny feeling in your head. You don't want that. You're thinking about it.
Does that voice... Do I have enough wherewithal?
Very familiar to you. Very familiar.
No, I don't want it. But I think Kestra, she doesn't want to remove her power. She really, really doesn't. But, voices talking in her head right after a major psionic event, even she's aware that's probably not good.
You hear this. Good.
Send me that, hypo spray, please?
Sure, what did you say?
Could you hand me that hypo spray, please?
Cash. The scene around you falls away.
Oh dear.
The lights around you dim and go dark. You're in the room alone.
This is Kestra to Captain Edwards?
You don't have a comm badge on.
Shit.
You know, and behind you,
I whip around.
yeah, I think a change in music is in order. Just one moment. You know, I've always liked being physical. Being non-corporeal is rather boring. And you see behind you is a Lormian that you don't recognize.
What are you?
To watch you squirm, it's interesting to me. He gets closer to you. Ah! What's happening? What is that? What the hell? What is that sound? I'm so sorry, everybody. There was an ad on a webpage that I was on. Can you guys still hear me or no?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah,
we
I'm
were
so
just
sorry.
wondering why you suddenly entered panic mode.
Yeah, I was like, what's happening?
Out of the two people talking, one of you should be going into panic mode, and it's not the GM.
I'm so sorry. I was on a webpage and an ad blared to full volume with really hardcore pop punk music. I was like, what the fuck? Sorry, I've completely ruined the vibe. I do apologize.
I'm
Hilarious,
trying to,
though.
Oh, there we go. I was like, I can't get the music to play.
You know, it's interesting. You're very beautiful.
Don't like that.
Beauty seems to be a construct that you solids seem to enjoy. Am I wrong?
Aesthetics are important. I won't disagree.
What's Kestra feeling right now?
I think she's gone to the place that she goes to in surgery, which is all of her emotion is locked in a little box. And right now it's pure logic running her brain, and she's examining this and trying to figure out what in the fuck is going on.
One moment. Lieutenant Mitchell appears next to you. You know, it's interesting.
Leave her out of this.
Oh, are you getting angry?
Sir, this is your last warning.
Well, what are you gonna do? There are more than just me out here.
I know. But you're in here with me. So let's remain civil, shall we?
With that, Lieutenant Mitchell vanishes into dust.
I know that I can't defeat all of you, sir. But I know that one of you is no match for me.
Well, we'll just see about that, won't we? See, I don't want my plans interfered with.
Important your plans? And...
You know, if you were strong enough, you'd already know.
No, I don't think that's true. I think that you'd take any intrusion as an opportunity to hurt me, bring the full force of your entire organization against me. However, I do want you to know that genuinely, we do not wish to fight with you. We only wish to coexist. The only fight that exists between us is the one that you create.
Well, you see, we've been in slumber for quite some time. Things like this happen in prison, you see. But when you noticed us, Arbiter, we seem to have gained an interest into what's going on in this physical realm. And I have to tell you that even though we were once as you were, as you are now, as he breathes in and breathes out, the the room becomes even more dark and claustrophobic as the walls begin to tighten.
I think I'd like to try something.
Yeah.
I think I would like for Kestra. She knows this is a mindscape because it has to be. She is going to push her will into both brightening and expanding the room.
Alright. Well, this is going to be an opposed roll. So,
okay.
Go ahead and give me this telepathic process will definitely apply.
Presence medicine?
This is going to be... Yeah, now it's presence medicine.
Okay. Augmented ability applies.
Augmented ability does apply, so you get one additional success.
I'm going to spend a momentum and give you 2 threat.
Momentum 2 threat die.
And that's to buy 1 dice because I'm going to cite a value here. Value is failure is not an option.
That comes into play, yeah.
So that's focus, determination. Take another. I guess it would be 3 threat for 5 dice total.
4. It would be 3 more threat to roll 4 dice plus your determination. So yes.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna reroll that 20.
Okay.
So that's 7 successes total.
I'm counting 6.
It is 6, but
you're right. Plus 1 is 7. Thank you. Yeah. His target number is 1 lower than yours. It's 15. I'm going to spend. Yeah, and his crit range is 4. So I think I will.
This was just a little bit more powerful than he is at this, but not by much.
Not by much. You're exactly right. All right. Oh, that is 2, 4, 6, 7.
7. Okay. That's a
I-
match.
That is. So, here's how this works. This is a telepathic attack, so I believe attacker gets ties.
I thought defender got ties.
Kyle?
I mean, that's how it usually goes. I don't know if it is. Yeah, but
yep. Let's just do a due diligence and look.
It is resolved in favor of the attacking side.
in that case, can I? Would you
Well,
allow
no, you're
me-
attacking.
I'm attacking. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're trying.
Okay.
You're asserting yourself.
You're the one pushing.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I was like, why are you fighting against this? Yeah.
I thought I was.
So what were your two attacks?
Basically, my attack is exerting my control over the space. The lights flick on, the space expands, and suddenly he's not imposing over me, I'm doing it over him.
Yeah. So, what happens? You feel a Varank level of resistance. The lights, and you hear the faintest whispering of. You hear this as a whisper. 2 cc's Cortadine, she's unconscious. I need to wake her up. She's in some sort of state. You hear that as if it was being yelled at to you across a field. Like it's so far away.
I look at this thing. This Varank.
You look at the Lormian. He quite literally shrinks.
I want you to understand something, sir. You are in my mind. You are messing with my crew. And if you think, for one moment, that I am not the one who is putting you in danger, you are sorely mistaken. Now get out!
You see, his body turns into black, oozing ichor, pulls away, tentacles, drips start dropping up into reverse through the ceiling, and bink. One moment, please. Ambiance here is sickbay. You see Dr. Grix. Damn it. Kestra, I need you to wake up. Jeez. You are drenched in sweat. Just so gross and sweaty. You've sweat through everything. Your hair is wet. You have swamp ass. It's everywhere.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh god, you're gross. Okay, and he wipes his hands off.
And I think at that point, Kesha, she starts shaking. Like everything starts shaking, almost cramping.
Shh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. He blots your forehead with sort of a wet towel. It's okay. It's okay.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah, you were screaming it, so I figured. And he sort of, God, you see his eye is black.
Oh, did I attack you?
Yeah, you punched me in the face. It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
You see, your hands are actually restrained.
I beat her.
Yep. Okay, that laugh really creeps me out. Maybe don't. Maybe just don't. Okay.
Doctor.
Oh, God.
Doctor.
Kestra, You know I have to tell people about this, right?
You go right ahead.
100%.
The Veronk attacked me, and I won.
Okay. Yep. Hey, Grix to Captain Edwards.
Edwards here.
We got a code Kestra in the sickbay.
That's not a code. I'm on my way.
It absolutely is.
That's amazing.
Code Kelly, meanwhile, needs to be followed by a qualifier to specify what trouble she's gotten into.
With Kestra, it's always the same.
Somebody else. Do you want me to get Kelly and Woodyard in here too?
Yes, they need to be made aware.
Yeah. I have a funny feeling that they might already know. Dr. Grix to Commander Kelly and Ensign Woodyard. Report to sickbay.
On our way.
Okay.
So I think one thing that I think that a lot of people misunderstand with Kestra is that Kestra does not hide things ever.
Mm-hmm.
She does not keep secrets. She does not, like, the only time she lies is when the safety of the crew is at stake. So you never have to worry about not telling someone because she's going to tell them.
Captain Edwards, you walk into Kelly and Woodyard already sort of walking in as well.
I think I'm going to start having general meetings right here.
Hey, Veronk attacked me.
Yeah, not the only one. I think I might have broken my... Oh, okay. Sorrel!
Again, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about that.
It's okay. It's fine. You have a wicked left cross. I thought you were right-handed. What the? Sorrel goes, I heard the code catcher. Is everybody okay? Dr. Grix walks over. Fix my eye. Yes, doctor.
I cast her. What happened?
I was in sickbay. I was about to take a telepathic suppressant just to mitigate some of the strain. And I heard a voice saying that I didn't want to remove my powers, that I didn't want to suppress them. And then I saw Veronk, and it tried to threaten me and my ship. So I stated to it why that would be a bad idea.
So that's one less of a few million we have to deal with.
Yes, but this means they can be beat.
At a huge cost to you. At one at a time. Sorry, I don't have torpedo bays filled with Kestras.
We could work on that. Oh.
I could theoretically rig up a torpedo
Veronk are the ones that
caused...
are doing it.
Yeah, I could theoretically rig up a torpedo that causes a telepathic cascade, sir.
And we're gonna have torpedo tubes filled with Kestras. Okay.
I don't know how I do it, but presumably I could. I mean, people have weaponized telepathy for a long time.
So, I was able to beat him. He was explaining that we were interfering in his plans, and that when I noticed them, that I attracted their attention.
Sersha slow turns to Woodyard.
Now we have evidence.
This is amazing.
No, it's actually fairly terrifying.
And terrifying, too.
Everything I had to beat that one.
Doctor, during the event, I assume you had a litany of scanners monitoring everything.
Yeah, Sorrel, move it out of my... Yes, Captain. I had a tricorder running the entire time.
Okay.
Her eyes rolled back into her head. she, seemingly out of reflex, struck me in the face, fell over, and began sweating profusely. You guys actually see a Kestra outline in sweat on the floor.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna take a while to clean that.
Yeah, tricorders out.
Suppose this might be the time to mention that I've been consistently having dreams where I am on an ocean and then I witness events that I should not be able to be privy to, and when I wake up, I have salt water on me. That probably should be mentioned.
Ursa kind of rubs the bridge of her nose.
Yeah, should have been mentioned. However long ago that started, when you started manifesting physical matter.
I did tell Dr. Talos. I thought maybe I was going crazy.
Okay. Well, at least it's recorded somewhere.
Hey, Kestra, remember that time I had a weird sleep vision and then I immediately called the senior staff?
Well, I mean, look, I don't have anything. You're right.
And they paint me as the reckless one.
Less and less each day.
You did make a bomb out of a phaser and a tricorder and then throw it at a changeling, so maybe you are the reckless one.
That worked.
Okay, can we get back on topic here?
Yes, we can.
Soral is pushed aside by Dr. Grix.
We know it's the Varong because they're targeting my computer at the heart of that planet. Now, I'm going to sound incredibly callous when I say this. Stopping the Varong is more important than saving the planet. I want to save the planet. Don't get me wrong, but if we have to make the choice, we unfuck subspace. Kelly, Woodyard, team up with Raquel and the readings the Doctor has, and design something that can possibly attack the Varong. We do have a nice fleet of quantum torpedoes. Feel free to use some of those. Kestra.
Captain, there's a variable we're missing here.
Oh?
The why. What makes the My Computer on Vorgon 3 worth doing this? This calls a lot of attention.
If I may, I don't think they care. They believe that we are weaker than them, that we are inherently lesser. Although my little demonstration may have disabused them of that notion.
And if I might chime in, I think that my computer is incidental. It's just a tool that happens to be able to bend the laws of space and time and allow them to make these attacks.
And it's a very powerful transmitter.
Look, Organ 3 is clearly either the testing bed or the start of something bigger, so we stop it here. If we can find out the why during it, great.
Understanding our enemy's goal is sort of key to countering what they're trying to do.
You hear a hail come over. Senior staff to the bridge. We're coming up on the planet.
I'm going to take a quick sonic shower.
Please.
There's one. Yeah, there's one in the decon wing. Soral points.
I go do that to get a fresh uniform too.
I think at that point, decon is right. I'll be in engineering.
So, to the bridge we go.
At this point, I believe my character is the only player character who has not met the Varong, or has even ever heard of him.
Well, presumably by now you've been read in.
Yeah, again, we mentioned the read-in, and that includes the Varong. And at this point, Edwards will absolutely make certain that you are aware of what we're dealing with. Like, that would be the first thing he talks about when he gets to the bridge. As everyone walks out of sick bay, he's just gonna put a hand on Grix's shoulder, look at the eye, and like, "Welcome to the Guan Yu," and walks out.
Oh God. He turns around. All right. A couple of minutes pass. Kestra, you get a new uniform. You get a sonic shower. You still feel sweat, right? But it's internal now.
That's so much worse. I don't know what that would feel like, but it's uncomfortable to imagine.
It's like hydration, but uncomfortable.
You have a big sort of bottle of water.
Don't like that.
Lieutenant Mitchell says, "All right, Captain Commander, we are coming to the end. Oh, one more maneuver. You see that there is a necessity. You see the planet up on the overlay, and between the planet there are huge fissures in the way. But one route that requires a corkscrew maneuver backwards in warp." And Mitchell goes, "Okay, this is gonna actually take something. All right, Strasser, full power to, Lieutenant Dunes, full power to the inertial dampeners. Okay." You hear, you feel more anchored into the ground, and you lurch forward as a K-turn in space at warp happens, backwards through double corkscrew, flips up, and then you see that her elbow slams into the warp button, and popping into the system, you hear the v of the nacelles going back into their impulse position, and directly in front of you, you see the Lormian homeworld, Oregon 3. Sensors immediately. Woodyard, you detect massive seismic anomalies that are occurring on all major continents. Pretty much something to the effect of like a magnitude 4 earthquake everywhere with hotspots that peak at 6. Planet is constantly shaking. You see that there are atmospheric disturbances and electromagnetic disturbances. Thankfully not centered around the city, but you see that actually some solar winds have broken through, and you see that there's a large wildfire occurring on the far side of the planet that's eating through the forest over there. Okay. Captain, I'm gonna establish a high orbit over the Lormians' main city, and you, Mitchell, perfectly, as you hang above the planet as it slowly rotates.
Ensign Skittles, is there any communications traffic? They got anything we can contact on there?
Ensign Strasser looks up and says, you see her. No, sir. As a matter of fact, the multiphasic shielding is protecting most of our primary system. Well, actually, no, all of our primary systems. Our secondary systems are taking a little bit of a hammering. Communications right now are very difficult. I'm not detecting any active transmissions on the planet.
Okay, first aid rules apply. Unconscious means consent. Let's save them.
Oh,
Kelly to
Jesus
bridge?
Christ.
That's a legitimate statement for first aid.
No, you're right. I know.
It implies consent. It's also a horrible, horrible sentence to use.
Yeah,
a little bit, yeah.
Oh my God. Sorry, Kelly, go ahead.
Kelly to bridge?
Go ahead.
Can I borrow sensors for a moment?
All yours.
She wants to do a deep scan of the computer. Of the my supercomputer. See how it's holding up, see whether or not the area it's in is still geologically stable, if it's still accessible.
Okay. So that, I will say, Ensign Woodyard, Titan, you still there?
I am.
Okay, cool. Commander Kelly, I'm going to have you lead this then, with Woodyard assisting. Woodyard assisting is what's giving you access to the geological information of the planet itself. Your main role, though, is for the computer. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and give me...
Can I assist with the computer?
No, I'm only going to allow one player assist at this time. However, the ship may also assist. I'll get there in just a moment. Kelly, go ahead and give me a reason... Yeah, reason engineering. You have previous experience with this, so that knocks down the difficulty by 1 to 3. I'm going to say complication range of 3 as well. You see, as you activate the primary sensor grid, the amount of distortion that you have to go through is really messing with your sensor grids right now. You even sense that you have the best sensors in the fleet, pretty much, the Intrepid classes. A lot of other ships would have no sensors right now. You're getting as much as you can out of them. Yeah.
Speaking
so
of which, does our enhanced sensors further lower that?
The enhanced sensors is making it possible.
Noted.
Yeah, so reason engineering, difficulty 3, comp 3. I will allow an assist from Woodyard. That will be reason science. The computers will be rolling... just one moment here. I always have to double check that I'm actually saying real things that are possible with ships. Oh, come on. Ships and shuttles, where's Guan Yu? There it is. Yeah, go ahead and give me sensors. Yeah, sensors engineering, I'll say.
Okay. I am using my direct neural interface and my interlink node.
Okay.
And this is being assisted by a computer. So yeah, that's the interlink node. That is, it gives me a bonus D20. The ship gets to reroll its D20.
All
right, so I'm sitting at 3 dice, and we have 1 momentum. So I will give you 2 threat for a 4th dice.
Okay, sounds good.
And away we go. Oh, shit. Well,
right.
I will re-roll one of the 19s.
Okay.
Alright, so that gains us some momentum, I believe?
I believe so. Let's go ahead and before we quash anything, we're going to get Trev's roll here. Go ahead and give me reason science.
Is the complication range 3?
Complication range 3, yes, sir.
Oh!
Not what you want to roll.
No, but I'm using that to re-roll.
Good job.
Oh, sorry. Whoops. I should have done that. Sorry.
What?
I'm taking extra time. I apologize.
Okay.
I guess get all this set up. There we go.
Why?
Why?
You have,
Why?
Alright,
and
let's get the ship's roll.
Okay, you got
Oh,
ship?
I'll do.
Oh, you want me? Sure.
Yeah,
Sure. I got it. Let me get it. All right. And what was the
sensors engineering?
Sensors engineering.
Comp 3.
Oh, comp 3. All right. Let me type in that.
Well, thank you, Guan Yu.
Hey!
So I'm counting on a difficulty 3 roll. I'm counting 1, 2, 3 momentum generated. You currently have 2 standing complications.
Let's go ahead and quash those.
All right, no momentum in the pool.
Coward.
Alright. So, Kestra, to give you your main thing first.
You maybe want to run that past us again?
Sorry, what?
Want to run that past us again?
What did I say?
Extra?
Kelly. Saoirse.
At least once a session, someone does it.
Yeah, for sure. I was so confused.
Why do you think I
anyway,
always type
so
the ranks in the log? To make sure I don't mix them up.
my computer is outputting 3 times the power that it was originally outputting. It was a significant power source before. Now, it's wild. It's outputting so much energy. I don't have a number to give you, but 3 times what it normally is the number that I'm giving you. You see that the other systems that are connected to the computer appear to be attempting to correct whatever is going on. You see that there are gravity fields that are attempting to correct orbit and speed trajectory. You sense that the atmospheric controls are probably damaged beyond repair or malfunctioning, as the atmosphere and the EM field are falling apart, as what you're seeing right now. It's operating not well currently. To give you some of the geological information, the original cave that you came through, that's caved in. I believe it caved in when you attempted to get in there anyway.
Yeah.
There are other tunnels that lead there that connect up to that ravine. Most of them are going to require climbing equipment because they come out to the bottom part of that ravine, and you remember how deep that ravine went.
Okay, so we know we have like anti-gravity capabilities. I'd rather grab some of those.
Couple of other that's the information that you get on the computer area is still accessible, but just not by the original means. I'll just give you this right away. Transporters is a nuh-uh. They are not gonna work. For a number of different reasons, it would be ridiculous to try.
Yeah. But not impossible. So you're saying there's a non-zero chance?
No. I'm telling you as the GM, it is impossible. I will not allow a roll with current.
What if I was Irish?
I spent 4 threat to make it impossible at the beginning of the game.
Very Irish.
Brian. What if his name was Miles O'Brien?
Nope.
Wow, that really can't be done.
Yeah. So, also, as like before, technology on the planet is not going to do you very good. I believe you had adapted your phasers previously to go through that level of distortion. Your phasers are going to be working at 1/3 the intensity. If you were to go down with them now, tricorder.
What I'm hearing is break out the TR-116s.
Ooh, the TR-116s with the purple stripe?
Yeah,
I
with
don't
the purple stripe.
We even have those, do we?
The Deep Space Nine established that the replicator pattern for the TR-116 is unrestricted.
Oh.
I do have to head out. I have to go get my wife from work. I'm so sorry.
That's totally fine. So to conclude, this is what we're going to be doing next session. It's going to be... Getting here was a little bit more of a journey that I maybe planned for, but yeah, so that is where we're going to leave it there.
Quick question before I go.
Yeah.
Was I supposed to fight against that Varonk there? Was that supposed to work?
I have had that I've had that thing about to happen if you had ever at any point considered taking a suppressant.
Cool.
And told me that you were considering it. So that's been a long time coming.
No, I meant, was I supposed to win that fight that I had?
Oh, yeah. It didn't change anything that whether or not you won or lost. If you had lost, shit would have been bad, but you wouldn't have died or anything. You would have been you would have had negative mental effects afterwards, but you won.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Well, with that, we are going to leave that there. We'll catch you next week. Thank you so much to my players, one who just left, but to my players for playing with me during this time. Thank you to our many sponsors, Gerald R. Ford, a president that, you know,
he was definitely one of the presidents of all time.
He was one of them.
Never won an election.
Well, anyways, we will see you in the stars and catch you on the flip side. My name is Tyler, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week.
See you, star side.
Okay.
I love this game so much.